Wow, I'm trying to so lost. I seriously need to get us things into battery backup for
originally where it goes.
Calls will not be answered.
So it is now 60 miles away. Then you start talking about those because
These are gone, the house is gone. She also said that in case they're hearing, or at least he was seeing, that the fire department had suffered some damage there, so Casey's reporting quite a bit of damage as well.
The debris ball there was in the Casey area, so glad to hear that at least there's a little, you know, it's not good news, but you know, they're okay.
Right there.
And we're hoping that really for a lot of folks in our area. You know, we're 2 weeks before Christmas. Has been changed, so you know, throw up some prayers and let's keep these folks in our prayers. And there's a lot of folks who are going to need a lot of help and a lot of love in a few days. So let's make sure keep that in mind. Our friends right now in Princeton and Central Caldwell County, you guys are dealing with it now, and we're headed up toward Dawson Springs. So let's do a zoom in here toward the Princeton.
It's not
Storm
enough
is
anymore.
right here.
It's getting caught up in the rain now.
And I want to make sure that we're on the Fort Campbell radar site.
If you want, real quick, I can turn off the Paducah so we don't get that in there. But now,
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, we're on Fort Campbell. All right.
Photos.
Actually, yeah.
There's
So
more
if
coming our
you're
way.
wondering what we're talking about,
Only 60 miles away.
there's been a lot of light here in McCracken County, and it sounds like the National Weather Service took a major power hit. The radar in Paducah is actually out right now, and they have had to hand off communications to the National Weather Service office in Springfield, Missouri. So those folks are trying to get us the information that we need. This storm, we're able to pick it up off the Campbell radar site, and now it looks like the storm has moved through Princeton, and our debris signature is off to the east of town. So let me go back in for a closer view here. And it is right along 62. I mean, this thing is plowing along on Highway 62 east of Princeton. You know, that's out Dawson Road. You know, it goes right along 62. There's a drilling facility and a sawmill out there, and it's a pretty rural area between there and over toward, and we get closer to Dawson Springs. But right now, you know, if we follow this path from near Princeton, you take it up really close to Dawson Springs. It's going to be a really close call. So you guys don't have much time left to take shelter. Let me stop this, and we'll put another track on it. To zoom out again.
You can hear sirens in the
Very
background.
folks, it's been a long night, and unfortunately we're not done yet. So this is moving again at 45 miles per hour, I believe now was the latest speed. So the rotating part is here, 45 miles per hour. It's going to plow through Dawson Springs real fast, and then it may get, I think we're probably looking at going just south of Madisonville. The Dawson Springs, we're down to within about 10 minutes. 10:35, St. Charles at 10:45, Arlington at 10:52, and then at that point, it's out of the local area. So if you're in Dawson Springs right now, if you are in a mobile home, you've got
20 degrees.
10 minutes to get somewhere else. Don't drive across town. If you got a neighbor that's got a house, go there. If you've got a basement, go there. If you've got an interior hallway or closet, that's where you want to go. Helmet,
So what's the
take
damage
phone
done
with
in
you,
Benton?
cover up with
Are they
something,
shutting it?
make sure that you've got as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Okay, we've got a lot more warnings that we have to cover. Yeah, what do you guys have?
Oh, sorry, Trent, I was just gonna make sure you got that one. And, trying to we get in a lot of photos now and try to get these together to show for you guys.
Okay.
This is out of Memphis, if you like it.
Yes, let me zoom in on it and.
Hey, Dyersburg getting their tornado warning. Can we be talking about
And just a
that?
quick reminder, because a lot of folks are asking
And Martin.
about Southern Illinois.
And then it's gonna
Yes.
hit
There are
Paris.
more storms, so let's just make this calmly clear. We can't unfortunately sound the all clear for anybody yet. There's still more storms to the west. So just because you haven't gotten anything yet, or missed, there is still another line coming in the Highway 16 corridor, which
Yeah.
we'll show you too.
That was gonna.
Yeah,
go
we
between
certainly don't want to
Paris
leave
and
anybody
Martin.
out here. It's just this thing that we've had, that's gone through Mayfield, Benton, and, this is an incredible storm. Not that the other ones aren't, but this one is a life-changing storm. We do have a new tornado warning here in Tennessee. Get you that information here. That does include the city of Martin. This goes until 11:15 for northern sections of Gibson County, Southeastern County, and Southwestern Weakley County. So Dyer, New Bern, and Trenton are in the path of this. This is radar indicated. Nothing confirmed with this.
Okay, there's a new tornado for southern Massac, and I believe parts of Pope, Trent. But I'm trying to get the radar off of Paducah because it's locking up. So this is for new tornado warning, Massac, Pope, Crittenden, Central Livingston.
Okay.
Until 11:15. And I'm keeping an eye on that other stuff for you coming in from the west.
Okay. Okay, guys. So this is going to be tricky here. Let me finish here first. I want to make sure we cover our bases in Tennessee. Tornado warning there. Right now, this is radar indicated rotation, and that rotation, yeah, it's right here. The winds inside the storm around Dyersburg. This is it's not well defined. It's more winds blowing out from the storm. A signature here, a little bit of a hook around Dyersburg. So if that thing
That was right near Spencer.
continued to
Yeah, near Marshall County Hospital.
if that thing continued and see this is our problem is you notice how the radar switches back. We're going back to the Paducah radar, and we don't have any data coming in on our Paducah radar right now, so we kind of have to we're almost making an estimate here. Okay.
Where's Jennifer when you need her?
All right, so this storm at 45. Newbern,
is that just one tornado
10:37.
there?
Trimble, 10:45.
Yes.
Rutherford at 10:58.
Okay, so that's
Probably
Greenfield,
EF0 because it's not a
11:13,
very
and Dresden at
defined signature
11.
hook.
Let's go back up to.
Yeah, it is going to Murray.
And now we're getting the signal here in the station. All right, this is our tornado emergency for Dawson Springs. It's the Paducah, McCracken County situation. Dawson Springs right now, tornado is on top of town as expected, and this a catastrophic tornado, Dawson Springs and St. Charles in Caldwell and Hopkins County. This storm is still doing damage.
Steve Hill and Matt
And we
and
do have a debris signature right
earlier
here
said they
on
had
the
two
west side of
tornadoes
Dawson
already go
Springs.
through
It's going to go right
Madisonville.
across
This
town
one's gonna go
and
right
hit
past his
just to
house.
the north. All right, let's go down. Go back to the home view here.
Sorry.
This is really tough because we don't have
This is probably
radar information.
This is the longest tornado in like world history.
So if you're for whatever reason, if you're just joining us, there was a power outage at the National Weather Service office in Paducah. Communication has been lost there. They had to transfer responsibilities to their office in Springfield, Missouri. The radar is down currently in Paducah. But we do have a tornado warning in effect for Massac, Polk, and Livingston County. Let's get you that warning information here. Radar indicated road 8 that, according to the printout, was located over Brookport at 10:29. So 5 minutes ago, the rotation was over Brookport, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. That'll put it near Burma at 10:50 and Salem and Joy around 10:55. You know, so we have to do, you know, kind of a track based on just the warning information. So the storm was about here.
That tornado
45 is going to put it on this path. Bay City 10:44, Verna at 10:52, Salem at 11, Marion, Kentucky at peak, and out of the area of around none after that.
So you want to get pulled up the radar for that, I believe.
Okay.
So are we just out now? Is the data's out from Paducah, right?
Yes, completely out.
And just so you know, we've got Jennifer Horvath's going to come in a minute. We've got a woman with a story about her house being hit. But real quick, I want to show you guys this. We're getting reports of extreme damage in Mayfield. The courthouse and the jail severely hit. This is looking just 15 minutes ago. Just got this photo in. This is the jail and the courthouse reported major damage. And just to reiterate for you, as this is we're getting to a point now, we've lost the radar in Paducah. We've had power bumps in the
there's a
Paducah
tornado that formed
office.
across the bridge.
We've got multiple tornadoes right now. So Trent and I are going to try to take a few of these each. We'll try to make sure we cover them. There's the tornado in Dawson Springs. Just to give you a reset, that is a tornado emergency. That tornado emergency continues. That is coming east on 69. That is still producing catastrophic damage. I was just in the newsroom and we've got
It's the longest
houses
tornado
that
in the
have
world.
been brought to the ground.
The longest one was
Roofs that are
219.
gone.
This one I think is
The
already
courthouse in
240.
Mayfield severely damaged.
Yeah,
So
but
join all
that
this
doesn't
here. We're going to
account for the
extend
three that
prayers
came together as
to
one.
those
There
in
were 2
Mayfield
miles
and
wide
Graves
that
County.
went through Louisville,
There's your
Kentucky in
tornado
1974.
in Dawson
Yeah, but
Springs.
it's
not
Let's show you the one
miles as long
coming
as
out of
it's
Southern
on.
Illinois.
Yeah,
that
the
we
one
just
in
had, that
Louisville
Trent was
went for
talking about.
380 miles.
Here is that
In
tornado.
74.
And now you have to understand, we're looking at the radar
Yeah.
from
It
Fort
affected
Campbell.
7 states.
So this is going to look messy. It's not going to be as crystal clear as the radar from Paducah, but we'll leave that technicality.
This one's
out.
heading for us.
There's your tornado
No, that one's coming
between
out.
Oh,
Bay
Burma,
City and
yeah.
Smithland. So this is the
It started
newest
at
tornado
Metropolis,
warning
though.
we
That's
have.
where it was.
If you're in
Or
Burma,
Brookport.
Salem, Kentucky, we have almost all of these tornadoes tonight that have produced both
Salem
damage,
just had a
catastrophic
catastrophic
damage, and
fire
have
in
stayed on the
downtown
road
earlier
for long
today.
periods of time.
Burned
There's the
a house in front of the-
Smithland, Kentucky, you may have gotten your emergency alert, but Smithland, you are not under any imminent threat from the path we believe should pass to your north. But Burna, Salem, if you live on 60 to Marion, Kentucky, that is a tornado.
That's an EF0.
Let's go ahead and try to look at the debris signature. I'll zoom this out for you here. We do have another tornado warning now for northwestern Obion County. Let me put a track on this, then we'll get to that. In between Trent and I, we'll try to do, each of us, one of these tornado warnings. So to clarify for everybody, we've got 3 active tornado warnings in our area. One heading out of southeastern Massac County, the second moving east out of Dawson Springs, and the third now in Obion County. We will be tracking each of these for you. This one, this is the track of it. We'll put this at the correct speed. That's not the correct speed. They're moving still to the northeast at about 50 miles an hour. So if you're in the path of this one, Burna, Salem, Marion, Kentucky. Marion arrival time 11:06, Salem 10:54, Burna 10:46. Cover your head, shelter in a bathtub in innermost room. If you're in a mobile home in the Marion, Kentucky area, if you're in a manufactured home in the Marion, Kentucky area, now is your time to leave that now and go find a better place of shelter. Jennifer Horvath's going to be in here in a minute. If we have once we maybe hopefully catch a break, I will relay to you. We have and have a story of someone who left their mobile home and has survived because they left their mobile home. On this tornado emergency still?
Well, no, we need to stay on the storm that's in Livingston County right now. This thing
there's
doesn't look
3
very
tornadoes
good.
now.
You know, this is a horrible situation because we, you know, have
there's
lost
another one that pops
radar
up.
data from Paducah. But I tell you what, there was a pretty nasty signature. If we got anybody down around Brookport and even on even close across the river in Paducah, over across across the way, there was about 1028.
That's where we're at.
The
West Paducah Campbell.
Fort Campbell site picked up a really nasty signature that moved across the Brookport Bridge, and of course that is now up into Livingston County. It's actually Polk County right now. It's just south of Bay City, but it really, you know, again, this is so far away. You know, we're probably scanning way high up in the atmosphere. You know, so we're not getting ground truth to that.
When you're ready, I've got a track on for the one in Tennessee.
Yeah, if you want to take, here, yeah, take that one and I'll work on a track on the other one.
So we'll toss back and forth here, given the tracks. Things that we've reached a point of the night now where we've got multiple tornadoes in effect. This is for Tennessee. If you're in Kenton, Martin, Dresden, Palmersville, do not wait. Seek your shelter now, the tornado precaution. And remember, as Trent explained with the radar data, just because it may not look as super crystal clear as that before does not mean you should think you're okay or not take shelter. Right here is where this circulation is. Let me highlight that to you. And I should also remind you there's another line of storms in the tornado warning near Fredericktown, Missouri we're keeping an eye on. So for those of you in Cape Girardeau, Jackson, Missouri, in the Carbondale area, we're keeping an eye on that one as well. We'll get to that in a few minutes. This is your circulation, Kenton, Martin, Dresden. Circulation probably going to pass between Martin and Dresden, 15 minutes or so. The next tornado warning in Tennessee is this one, which we're not going to really get a good handle on the radar from there. This is a warning that goes for Obion County till 11:15. If I had to pick out where in there, Trent, that was probably in the northwestern part of the county, but
yeah.
What if those tornadoes
approaching Fulton, we'll keep an eye on that for you too. So that's the 2 in Tennessee.
It was
If you want to pick up the one in
the one that
Kentucky.
went through
Okay, yeah, let's
Mayfield, and it was
okay, we'll head back
2
here.
of them. Somebody got a picture of it
Mm.
at KC, and it was
Oh,
about
hey,
a mile
Kaylee.
and a quarter wide.
Favor. Over on
And
the
it's all
special one,
black
will you hit the
because
button
it
that
was
says enable
sticking up
magic track
fields,
down in the bottom
stuff,
right?
dirt,
There you go.
barns.
Thank you. Okay.
Up to 26,000
again,
feet in the air, they threw barns
We
and
don't
stuff
know
up.
exactly what we're looking at here.
What would be on an
because
airplane right
this
now
is-
flying over the
This
area?
is way far away. We're using the Fort Campbell radar to look at something in Livingston County. So you keep in mind the curvature of the earth, the radar beam shoots up and out, so we're scanning pretty high up in the atmosphere. But there's certainly a sign of rotation
What
here.
are you using
Right over the
Evansville?
Ohio River, south of Bay City, and it's getting ready to cross.
Because they shut down the
crossing now
National Weather
into,
Service.
Livingston
Budget
County.
cuts
Wow.
under Obama's administration.
So
That makes sense.
things headed toward
That
Burma.
was dumb.
Will
Yeah.
continue to slide up north of Salem as well.
This one's scary because that
So do
one's
have a tornado warning here. This is a radar indicated area of rotation that started out over the Ohio River on the north side of Paducah, right over toward the Brookport Bridge, and it's survived this far and is continuing to move off north at about 45 miles per hour.
So that's one tornado basically.
So let's move the camera around here, and
Or that one's just really big. I'm not really sure. Because this little thing, I don't even know what this is.
put a track on this. The best we can do right now is just, well, let's try this again. We're not flying blind, but we're flying close to blind on this. Let's try this one more time. Oh, no. All right. So moving off to the northeast is about 45 miles per hour. This storm will be close to Salem, close to Berna at 10:49, Salem at 10:57, Marion at 11:10, and Sturgis at around 11:26. Again, this is a tornado warning until 11:15. Let's get you that warning information here. Right now, the storm is in Livingston County, so I think we can signal the all clear for Massac. Polk County is right on the Ohio River there. It's south of Golconda. You're in Golconda. You guys are not in this morning. For central Livingston County, up into southwestern Crittenden County, tornado warning is in effect until 11:15 this evening. And radar indicated area
is only 40 miles away.
Rotation. A quick update on the tornado emergency. We now have a tornado warning that includes Madisonville, and this is Kelly, you want to get me that printout for the one that just came out. 11:15 includes Earlington, Madisonville, Morton's Gap, and Nortonville. The threat tag still says catastrophic. Tornado emergency for Earlington and Afton. Large destructive tornado was near Earlington at 10:43, just south of Madisonville, right here. I cannot believe that this thing is still producing a tornado, but it is. I'm just going to go down for a little bit of a closer view. We're still, thankfully, we're able to look at this through the Fort Campbell radar site. Tornado's right here. It's just in the north of Nortonville, northwest of Nortonville.
Yeah, for real.
It is getting ready to move out of the local 6 coverage area. Basically, once it gets past I-69, that's out of our area. But it's going to cross I-69 in between Madisonville and Earlington. So tornado emergency for those areas. There is still a debris ball with this. It hit Princeton, Dawson Springs. It's just north of St. Charles. And it looks like it may pass just to the south of Earlington. Kind of splits the difference between Earlington and Nortonville. And then it's gone. It's out of our area.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of volunteering to be in.
Refresh this and
Time to break out the chainsaws.
do you have anything new for us, Noah?
Unfortunately, I'm following with our feed. A lot of people saying that they're trying to get in touch with people in Princeton and can't. I think that we might have a cell tower out now because we heard this in the newsroom. So everybody, just to understand, let's take a quick step back while we can. There's power outages. There might be some cell service that's been impacted. So we're doing our best, and everybody's doing their best to keep everybody informed and in touch. There is no current threat in McCracken County or Paducah for a tornado. A couple of other things to answer other questions. This tornado in Tennessee, I switched the radar to what's called our composite mode so we can just more clearly see what's going on. If you're in Sharon, Martin, Dresden, Palmersville, Puryear, you need to be taking precaution as if this was a tornado. This is more likely a big surge, a big forward flank draft of wind, a strong push of wind. It might as well be a tornado. Treat this as a tornado. Sharon, Martin, if you live anywhere on 45E between Sharon and Martin, you've got about, the time now is 10:47, you've got about 10 to 15 minutes. As soon as we see any report of debris, I will tell you, but it looks like the strongest rotation in Tennessee is near between Rutherford and Kenton. We're getting radar returns, granted they're very high up in the atmosphere, well over 100 miles an hour. So even if we extrapolated that down to what they would be at the ground, there is very strong wind near Kenton, Tennessee, heading towards Sharon, north of Greenfield, and eventually Dresden. If you're in the Martin area, there's a lot of lightning, there's a lot of wind, but the 2 circulations, there's one just to the northeast of Union City is going to miss Martin, and the one near Kenton is going to miss Martin. So if you're watching or listening in Martin, Tennessee, we believe both of those should miss you. But for our Tennessee friends, this is the warning information. The tornado warning for parts of Dyer,
Union
Gibson,
City.
really southeastern Obion and Weakley County till 15 minutes past 11. And Trent, that now
Something
is
is Fulton.
observed tornado.
Okay.
And that is moving east at 50. This was 10 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, tornado located near Dyersburg, moving east-northeast at 50. Just looking at the radar out of, this would be Memphis, that would line up. So let me stop this real quick. I'll try to pinpoint that for you real quick. Ken is going to be right about in here. If there was a tornado, it would be on this notch, right here. So 45W, Kenton to Rutherford tornado shelter. Up next from that, Sharon, Tennessee. If you're in Sharon, I want you to make sure you're aware of that. And one other thing for you before I give you back to Trent. Those of you, just a quick update, new tornado warning Polygon now. Just to do a quick, big scale picture. Let's zoom this out. We cannot sound loud clear until we get past this line of storms, which stretches outside us down just east of Rolla, Missouri into northern Arkansas. Once we get through this, right here, that will be it for the night, most likely. But that still can produce severe weather and tornadoes. The atmosphere is still plenty unstable and extremely sheared, especially in the lower few thousand feet. So those of you in southern Illinois, if you haven't gotten a lot, you might have been watching us give this very troubling, very bad forecast at times here in analysis. This is something we're going to watch. That's a new warning, I believe. Trent, that's northern Bollinger, Cape, and parts of southern Perry County till 11:30. That tornado warning is just issued. That is a tornado that is radar indicated near Marquand, moving due east at 50. So let's give a big picture of that. Then Trent, I'm going to toss it back to you so I can get this picture I just got.
I put Grace outside now since it's kind of
Moving east at 50. So southern Illinois folks, if you're watching, you're not out of the woods yet. This, with time, I think it's fair to say, will probably transition more to a straight line damaging wind threat. East-northeast over the next 90 minutes to 2 hours. So southern Illinois folks, eventually Grand Tower, Carbondale vicinity will get a storm, whether it's severe or not, we'll see. Marion and Harrisburg eventually in the path of that tornado warning. When we pull up Casey,
What's that?
did you catch marks in your ear? We've got a report from a viewer's story to share in a second, I think.
Okay.
But newest Polygon. Let's see what's on. Let me just switch you to the composite real quick. Go over there for you.
Let's see.
So you have it? The composite radar?
Yeah, you might need to get that for me. Have we lost? Okay, no, we still got Fort Campbell.
Dang.
So real quick, just a few reports. I've got a friend in Marshall that says that there's folks that are trapped in houses in Marshall County. Trees, power lines down everywhere. Had a report from a friend that brother lives on Princeton Country Club, and he said his house is gone, vehicles are totaled. That was right around the golf course there.
You want to say this tornado? The one photo somebody managed to get?
The reports are hard to get in because coverage of this storm has taken out so much power and so much
mile and a quarter wide.
So we are just scratching the surface on reports here. Okay, where to go next? We've got so many that we're watching right now. Let's give you an update on the Livingston and Crittenden County storm. This is the problem we're running into. We're losing our radar data from Paducah. If you're just joining us and you happen to have kind of missed some of the details of what's going on, The National Weather Service office in Paducah took a power hit, and they lost radar and communications. So having a real difficult time.
Already getting pictures of Mayfield
information
now.
out from them. So let me give you an update here on our tornado warning in Livingston County. A really nasty storm here around Salem, and it's headed up toward Marion, Kentucky, moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. At last check, this was a radar indicated area of rotation. Trying to look at a couple things behind the scenes here because it's a little easier to juggle switching the radars. There is still some rotation on this thing. It's not real well defined.
All the buildings on the court square in Mayfield.
Radar site down in Fort Campbell. But this tornado warning continues here for parts of Livingston and Crittenden County.
There's nothing left.
Up toward Marion,
Court
so
square in
15,
Mayfield.
So it's got about another 20 minutes on it. Radar indicated area of rotation.
across.
And
I don't know if there's
also
a building across from the jail or not anymore. Because they tore a
tornado
lot of
warnings
them
here in
down
Tennessee.
already.
Let's give you updates
That
on
whatever
those.
standing is now gone.
And so I'm going to step off. I need to switch the radar again. Bear with us. We're going to do a little bit of juggling on some of these things with the loss of communication.
Some sound on the unit.
Okay.
Multiple casualties, wars canceled.
Have we lost Memphis? No. Okay. So, particularly strong looking storm here around Rutherford in Tennessee. This one is moving to the east-northeast at around 45 miles per hour. So let me do a zoom out here and track this. Worst of this storm is going to be sliding over here in the southern sections of Weakley County, possibly with up to quarter-size hail, maybe some rotation. Rutherford is pretty much in your neighborhood right now. Greenfield at around 11:10. McKenzie at around 11:31, and Henry at 11:38. Our tornado warning up around the Union City area, that's one that we're having a hard time getting data in for. It does appear maybe some rotation that's off to the west.
Amazon warehouse in East St. Louis, Missouri was destroyed. It made national news.
Are y'all trying to
People
communicate?
trapped at Mayfield, Kentucky candle factory.
Okay. So we have a soundbite, and this is from Casey. Okay. From Hickman County. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and play that.
Lives in Casey, right across from the fire department, and her daughter lives right across the hill from where she lives in a double wide. So she went, and she's in a wheelchair. She went to her daughter's, and they all got in the bathroom. There's a little hallway before you get into the bathroom, and there, and it blew the house away. The only thing standing was the bathroom and the hall. And there was trees. I bet there was 8 or 9 pine trees in her front yard. She says all the trees are gone. The fire department is damaged. I don't know if it's blown away or damaged. And she said when the fire department got to her and took her out of her house, out of her daughter's house, she had a sign on her back that said, "As for house will serve the Lord," that was to her clothes on the back of her shirt.
Wow.
And my nephew's stepdaughter lives in the Casey area, and it sucked her well out of the ground.
That is just unbelievable.
to that section in that floor.
Alright, what you just heard was some sound out of Hickman County, the KC area earlier. Let's do a quick reset for you.
Normally when they're calling the extra directors in, but I forgot. They're down 4 directors.
Alright, we're back, everybody. That was some sound out of Hickman County. It's now coming up on 11 p.m. Central Time on what has been a night that we are going to remember for a long time. But we will leave that be for right now. Kaylee, can you enable that magic track for me on Max 1? The radar is lit up right now. We've got multiple tornado warnings, multiple sectors of people that are trying to get alerts and warnings, and we're going to go through everything that you need to know here. So actually, toggle the radar on and save that, just so, yeah, because it's, thank you. Yeah, we've lost that. So we're going to leave that on as the default. Kaylee, if you get anything, please jump in. So let's do a quick reset now. Coming up on 11 p.m. First and foremost, let's stop the radar. We're going to go through these in order of severity. So the first, you have to catch that for me because I'm losing my stuff over here. Is that a new warning for Dyer County? Okay, so we're going to go through this in order of severity. First is our remarkable tri-state tracking tornado that just refuses to stop. We've got crews that are both one that's in Mayfield and one or nearing Mayfield. As soon as we get reports from Jack Kane or any of our crews that are in Graves County, we will of course pass those along to you. But this is by far and away the warning of greatest threat and biggest concern. This is a warning that's now technically out of our area. That's for Ohio County. That continues the considerable damage, tag, and threat that is just insane that this thing started in Arkansas, Mississippi confluence, went across Tennessee, went across Kentucky, and now is paralleling the parkway out. So if you have family or friends out here north of Central City, give them a call, let them know that that is coming. So that's this first tornado warning. We're going to come back to that a little later because that's now leaving our area. Want to give some coverage and attention to our Marion Kentucky friends. This is a tornado warning that I believe is going to be allowed to expire, but we will see. This goes till 11:15, which you can see the the storm is starting to leave, but parts of Crittenden, especially northern Livingston County, this includes Salem. So let's zoom in. You're going to have to bear with us because, as Trent has explained, it's going to be very difficult to give a velocity present now. So lots of lightning. Kaylee, if you wouldn't mind, on the bottom right, could you toggle off the lightning? Scroll in there and toggle off the lightning for me. If you're in Mattoon, Marion, Kentucky, along 60, there can be some quarter-plus size hail in through here, and there still is the potential for a tornado right in this vicinity. 297 coming into 60. So Marion, Kentucky, we want you to be sheltered in your tornado precautions for the next few minutes. Tornado precautions there. That warning goes till 11:15. We will see if that gets extended. I want to go out now to our Tennessee friends because we have been covering what is going to be in the top for worst tornadoes we've ever had, the one that went across. But we'll worry about all of that later. The main concern now is keeping people safe that are under imminent threat. And this is particularly dangerous. This is another tornado emergency. It's remarkable that these keep coming. This is a considerable observed tornado now. If you are in these cities or towns, Martin, the worst of it is just south of Martin, but Martin, Tennessee. Paris, Tennessee, this is coming for you. Greenfield, you're in the direct path of that. But what I'm most concerned about is Dresden. If you're watching and listening in Dresden, Tennessee, this is a considerable threat from another tornado. This is moving to the northeast.
So will that go?
Something I want to point out before we do a deep dive into the velocity, southern Callaway, Murray area. Let's track this out so you guys can have a heads up. So New Concord, not quite to Farmington. Farmington, folks, you'll probably just get a good old storm without the big severe threat. But certainly Murray, New Concord, Southeastern Callaway, Northern Henry County. This is a confirmed tornado,
graduation pictures and
particularly
all that.
dangerous, moving to the northeast
And Murray.
at 50 miles an hour.
Don't know about that.
Murray, we just had a tornado in Murray on Sunday. In Callaway, we've had 4 tornadoes on Sunday with that big squall line. These are areas that have already been hit, already had damage, and you're gonna get this again. Palmersville, 1116. Puryear, if you're watching, we've got a lot of people who watch us in Puryear, Tennessee, just past 11:30, so you still got a few minutes. New Concord, as I just told you, 11:07. Hamlin, 11:53. If you're visiting us, we know there's a lot of people in Murray for this weekend. If you're visiting or you're in a hotel or you're watching us in Murray, consider this your first warning here. 11:40, Murray, Kentucky. This observed, particularly dangerous tornado is coming your way. The rest of Graves County, we're cleaning up now. We're hopefully getting some emergency crews there. This is just some rain right now. There is no more threat imminent in Graves County. So repeat, there's that new tornado warning coming out of Marion, Kentucky. This is a new particularly dangerous, that's the pink Polygon, excuse me, that includes Dresden and Palmersville, Tennessee. Let's go ahead and see if we can get into the velocity scope here. Probably not going to get anything good because we've lost 1 and or 2 of our radar sites right now. So let's go back to the radar. This pink Polygon, let's just focus on this. The storms are right here. Confirmed, observed tornado. Closet, innermost room. If you're in Palmersville right now, north of Dresden to Palmersville. Cottage Grove, you're in this as well. Kaylee, if you wouldn't mind, could you toggle the radar back on for me, for us on here? So this is the newest Polygon. We've just come out. This is the newest warning of greatest concern. Union City, you're in the clear right now. Fulton, you're in the clear right now. Palmersville, Dresden, Gleason, closet, innermost room. You're not going to see this coming. It's going to come real fast, and it's going to go real fast, but it's going to hit hard. It's coming to Palmersville, Dresden, Gleason. If you're in one of those 3 or in between one of those 3, this is in northeastern Weakley County. Let's do a quick reset here, and let's go back to the storms in Missouri, because we've got 4 states here to cover. Kaylee, if you could turn on the magic truck.
Now we got fire trucks down the street.
Another tornado warning there.
All right,
And
I'll be back.
again, we've got crews that are heading to Murray. As soon as we hear anything from them, we'll let you know. But the entire weather team is
I don't see anything on the
especially seeing as though we've got more storms coming.
studio camera, but I'm gonna go wipe the window off so I can see something.
Real quick tonight, we've got a message from the Graves County EMA director that if you live in Mayfield and can walk safely, please head Fire Station House 1. That's located at 2011 East Broadway Street. There are going to be buses there to help transport people. Again, if you're in Mayfield, if you can get and walk without having to go over debris power lines, head to Fire Station House 1, 211 East Broadway Street. There's going to be buses there to help transport people. That's a message from the newsroom, to our newsroom from the Graves County EMA.
And the rain continues there too. It'll be raining in Graves. Let's do a quick look into Graves County. We're thinking of all of you, seriously, keeping you in our prayers and thoughts that everybody's there okay. But we've got rain in Mayfield. If you happen to still be listening in the Graves County area, the rain will let up in about 15 to 20 minutes. But let's cover all of our bases and get to this new tornado warning, which is still ongoing. This one has got its eyes for southwestern Illinois. So first and foremost, there's a severe thunderstorm warning
looking
This
for
includes
GoPro
northern
cameras
Cape
underneath
County,
the counter
Jack
at the
to-
studio.
This is
I
really
had
for
mouse
60
jump
mile
on
per
my
hour
arm.
wind, but there could
Oh,
certainly be
that's
some
good.
large hail
Yeah,
in
and
there.
then it,
But
I
the one
flung it
tornado
off to my
warning for our
foot,
Missouri
and then
friends
I tried
that
to
is
stomp
heading
on it,
towards
but I didn't get it.
SIU,
I need
the
to take
Carbondale
Grace over
area
there
is
and let
right
her
there.
do some mousing.
Let me give you the information on that tornado warning.
So
This one is going to
tornado
run, I
warning
believe,
out of
until
here.
11:15,
Basically, the one
11:30,
that's-
which is for really far northern Cape County,
I
parts
think
of
we're
Perry
good.
County, and Bollinger. Let's put a track on that. So if you're in the path of this one, you've got this risk of that tornadic circulation that could do damage. Probably a little more north of due east. So you see that Carbondale to Carterville to Interstate 57. And the good news there is that that tornado warning has been allowed to drop, but we will still keep an eye on that. Grand Tower, Carbondale area about 11:51, and again Carterville at about midnight. So it's now 8 minutes past
Watch,
11.
it's gonna be like new
That
tornado warning.
tornado emergency that
That'd be useless.
I mean, it's a tornado emergency from essentially Jonesboro to where it is. I mean, has it stopped being a tornado emergency?
I think
Or
it's
that the pink catastrophic tag? I think this has been a catastrophic tornado
Oh,
for
really?
the better half of
I hope that's not coming
3
towards
hours
us.
now. That storm, and that is exiting our area in your central
would
city,
come right
Kentucky. We're
into
keeping an
us.
eye on that.
For
In
sure.
terms of other active storms, I really want to make sure we focus in on the storm that's in Tennessee.
Shake my head.
That's heading out soon of northeastern Weakley County, but we're taking this very seriously here. Palmersville, Dresden. Worst of it, gonna probably miss Gleason to the north. But especially in these tornadic circulations, there's so much wind coming into these things, funneling in from the south, rotating into these things. The low-level wind shear is exceptionally high, even for December standards. And the fact that we've had 2 of these in a week just adds to the remarkable factor to this. But the point of that is, even though you might quote-unquote miss the worst of it, Gleason, you still can get winds, high winds, that are funneling in from the south and curling around into that storm. The worst of it, Dresden. Let's zoom in and give you a street-by-street. Puryear, Highway 54. Dresden, the circulation is over you right now. That is right over the center of Dresden. And remember, radar is a snapshot, so it's not
just
a
wanna make
movie.
sure
This is a
everyone's okay
snapshot.
with
So the
water.
radar is showing it in Dresden, but really it's probably right here. It's probably already a little bit, maybe 2 miles or so outside of Dresden.
Like, you know,
Cottage Grove, this is now in
just
Henry
kind of-
County. Cottage Grove, you're up next. These are pretty rural areas in far
Well, yeah, let's see, so
northeastern
you- yeah,
Weakley
to
County.
you guys, the
Farmersville,
ones at North Livingston
shelter.
just got hit
Could
by
be
a
some hail
tornado.
with the pink in there. Certainly some
Graves,
damaging
in
winds.
Mayfield. It's
I don't know if any of you guys got anything to report out of Tennessee in terms of this storm, but
Yes.
haven't heard from the Weather Service out of Memphis
Oh, yeah,
that covers
in
this,
Marshall
but
County, there's casualties
this is
and
still,
wars.
the pink polygon, remember, is that higher
And
threat,
then
the
it hit
considerable threat level. The Greenfield to Dresden area,
Basic-
Martin, you're in the
I'm-
clear.
I'm
So
at
if you're in Martin,
Thomas's at
Tennessee, and you're
Kendall,
listening to this,
and we
you're in
got
the clear.
really lucky 'cause
So
the
north of Paris,
tornado
really
that hit
Puryear, and
ended up
eventually
forming that
southern
big
Callaway. I don't
Bertha,
want to leave
like
you
it
guys
just
out.
went through Bertha.
Murray folks, we're keeping an eye on this for you. Let's
It
put a loop on
actually
the radar
formed right
and
over
show you
us, but it
this.
didn't hit us.
It's coming for you. In fact, I wouldn't reckon to believe soon we'll get a new extension of this into Callaway County. So this is tracking to
Just
the
tell her I love
northeast,
her.
and I'm gonna
Once you guys eat bed, I love you
deduce
so
that
bad.
this is where the circulation would be, right in there. That's going to track essentially from here
I knew that thing was
right over 641, probably just south of Murray, to Hamlin and New Concord
Hey,
in southeastern Callaway County.
It looks like nothing's gonna come
That in the
close
next
here,
30
so it
minutes.
should be
At least the center
good.
of Murray
As long
right
as
now,
nothing else forms.
the worst of that may miss you just to the south, but we're keeping an eye on it. And to reiterate that message, well, we're going to repeat that in a minute.
I know, I
Or
saw
what
that.
Trumperson said, the message for those of you in Mayfield
Shelby, where Shelby
about
lives by
meeting,
Callaway,
if you
she
can
said
walk,
there's houses
we'll
down.
repeat that for you here in a
Mayfield's
second.
totally
But in
destroyed.
terms of our tornado
Lyon County,
emergency in the
I don't know how Lyon.
supercell that is going to be remembered, researched, documented, and remembered not in a good way in our area for a long time, is now in Ohio County in
It's awful, especially right
approaching
towards
central
Christmas
Kentucky.
time, 'cause a lot of these
If
people
you
are
have
leaving
family
back
or
home.
friends outside the Edmond area, certainly something to keep an eye on. But we
Did
still
you
do
see, I
have that
texted
active
Ian,
Polygon
did you see where I
over,
sent you, it hit
I
Kent?
believe that's going to be Livingston County, but I want to give you the all clear here. If you're in Marion, the worst of this has passed you. Still gonna
Yeah.
keep an eye on this right here, some hail, maybe some strong winds,
Yeah,
could be
no, I
over
just-
60 miles an hour.
yes.
That's between Sturgis and Providence. So possible
I think
60
that's your
mile per hour
brother.
winds. There we go, now we're getting the radar out of Fort Campbell, and guys, what do you got?
Hey, no, I was gonna let you know,
We'll just
National Weather
pray-
Service
I'm
in
just praying for our
Memphis,
whole family.
getting
Have you talked
reports,
to Jack any, or?
that, of a tornado in Kenton
know, I
at,
talked to
Yep.
Hayden
that was at
multiple
10:47.
times. Is he okay?
Multiple power
Like,
lines
is
down,
he-
trees down, and impassable roads.
Is he okay?
Some power flashes around Dresden,
Tracy got really
and
lucky. The
that
one in North
circulation, of course,
Livingston
now
missed her. Just
passing
basically,
to the north and northeast
it
of,
just missed your house
Dresden.
just nice.
In Kenton, Tennessee, 6 to 12 houses
Like, that's just
totaled,
God.
and some entrapped, some entrapments going
Oh,
on
well.
with some folks there as well. So,
Okay.
pretty bad situation there in Tennessee. And also, while I've got the mic hot,
Wow.
again, a reminder
Well, yeah.
for folks in
It's
Mayfield.
just these keep on forming up.
If you
like,
can walk safely, please head to the fire station,
Yeah.
House 1,
That's how it is at Mayfield.
which is
and
located at
Marshall.
2011 East Broadway Street. There will
Shelby
be
said
buses
right where
to
it's at,
transport
there's
people.
The house is just completely gone.
Mm.
Princeton, did you hear that one guy said like his house
Somewhere
is gone?
safe.
It's by the golf
Um,
course.
So again, fire station, House 1, 2011 East Broadway Street, to catch a bus
Oh, I
somewhere
know.
safe.
I was
okay?
just calling to see.
But again, Kenton, Tennessee,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have
I was
reports
just calling to make
of
sure you're okay.
confirmed tornado damage there. That storm is
Yes,
passing
ma'am.
through.
We got really lucky. Like it
Is
formed
moved
over
just to the
her.
north of
It
Dresden,
formed over us, but then
and
it
is
ended
now
up hitting
moving to the
Burr.
northeast near Cottage
Cause
Grove
it's right, cause
in
their house
Tennessee.
is like right by
So
the river.
near
So
or
like,
north
it's like with Tracy
of
too.
Cottage.
Why it didn't hit her that river.
This is your early heads up if you live
Oh, I
around
love you.
Courier and Hazel.
I'll talk to you
This storm
later.
may be heading your direction. And again, this is
I
our
love you,
direction
Mimi.
here
Bye-bye.
where because of the power outage at the National Weather Service in Paducah, we do not have that radar access.
You know, like
And
like coming toward there.
So we're having to rely on some additional radar data.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not flying blind, but we certainly don't have the radar guidance that we wish we had on this. But definitely for folks that live over toward the Courier area and even up around Murray, let's be keeping a real close eye on this one.
Say, if you see what I see on the Fort Campbell rotation, if you look on it, you got it
Yes.
on your radar, it
Yeah,
certainly
yes.
seems like that probably is an act. You have to bear with us, not to repeat over and over again. It's making it hard on us to analyze this without that Paducah radar, but with the best information available to us, here is what you need to know. Cottage Grove to Paris to Courier, Tennessee. In here, there is very likely a tornado. We're getting winds on the Fort Campbell radar up to, granted, this is off the ground, up to 135
Literally,
miles
it's
an
just
hour.
yellow and then
That
the wind
is
just goes like.
several a ways
The thing
from
is with
there.
the storm system,
But
another massive one.
Cottage
forming
Grove,
of this
you
easy.
gotta be on the alert.
Yeah, I'm surprised it
Shelter,
hasn't.
cover your head,
Those ones in
bathtub,
O'Brien,
innermost room. Cottage Grove, this is coming to you in 5 minutes.
There is on the Fort Campbell radar site. There is a debris ball. There's at least a CC.
As long as there's
there we go,
nothing
yeah.
that forms.
Yeah, so
Can we get that up?
there is some debris on there.
Is there a way we could get that up? Let me try to see.
Let me here.
Okay, yeah.
Let me take over for just a second. While I'm doing that too, I wanted to read off. Marshall County Emergency Management called and said residents need to stay off the roads and highways. Emergency crews are trying to navigate and rescue, and the last thing that they need is for folks to be in the way. When asked about confirmed damage, he said that it is widespread and no confirmed injuries or fatalities. But again, no sightseeing in Marshall County. We got to let the crews do their job. And yeah, we've got a very significant here in weekly. Why in the world that? And
Real fast, we're getting a couple comments here on Facebook saying that the courthouse is on fire and also that it has been down So there's something going on with the courthouse also in the Mayfield area. I know we've been talking about that for a while,
Yeah.
but someone said it's destroyed, but also someone has said it is on fire.
What's on fire?
It's really bad. It's really bad in Mayfield. No, bear with me here. I don't know why
It's all
this. I don't know why this is popping on here. I'm gonna have to click.
So while Trent's getting that up for us, Cottage Grove, we just heard this from Philip Madison, who works in our promotions department here at the news station. It's bad in Marshall without Moore's Camp Highway, possibly multi-fatalities, who also happens to work here. So that just came in a minute ago. That's in Marshall. And we're continuing to hear reports of the Moore's Camp area. But in Tennessee, bear with us as we get this fixed. Cottage Grove, Tennessee, this is a velocity that is continuing to go on an uptrend. Cottage Grove, Tennessee, in shelter right now. Puryear, Tennessee, you need to be in shelter right now. We have seen it, unfortunately, too often and too much tonight. Murray proper, this will miss Murray proper. That is a strong rotation that Trent just pulled up here. That's coming out of Northeastern Obion. Puryear, you are right, probably going to pass. It's going to cross 641s. People that are driving up or down 641, they need to stop and let this tornado pass. In terms of Callaway County, it would be my estimation, I think the three of us will agree that there will probably be an extension of that tornado warning for Callaway. And when that does, you will hear your wireless emergency alert more likely than not. You might even hear the Murray. But as of right now, this is going to pass south of Murray. So if you hear that in Murray, you may get the warning, be confused. The warning is for the New Concord area and southeastern parts of Callaway, and that's going to cross over the lake and eventually into northwest County. So if you're north of Dover, and sure, this really hit I-24. Now, something interesting about this cell, it's on the edge of all this, which would make me believe that it could contain the strength as it continues. What do you got, Kit?
Yeah, real quick, the National Weather Service chat, it says that K Energy in Ohio County just blew up to 100 power outages. Came down about 2 minutes ago.
Thank you, Kaylee. Here in Dresden was hit hard. Trent and Kaylee. Hearing a lot of Dresden hit hard in that feed. A lot of people asking about Paducah. There is nothing imminent for Paducah. There is one more line of storms in southeast Missouri, paralleling Highway 67. We're going to watch, but as of right now, there is no imminent threat. But as Trent drew on here, Puryear, New Concord, Tennessee, there is, at least there has been, it's kind of muddled right now, debris. There's actually probably maybe even some debris fallout. You might even have some debris fallout out ahead of this. So the blue is the inbound wind, which is over 100 miles an hour. These pictures you're seeing here, granted, by the time the radar in Fort Campbell is hitting that, we're scanning this several thousand feet up. So it's not a true representation of the wind right down at the ground. But that is a circulation nonetheless. To repeat, be sheltered now. Puryear, you've got that coming in about 10 minutes. Southeastern New Concord, southeastern, probably shortly thereafter with 47, and then we'll see if it's together heading.
There was certainly some damage around Dresden. In fact, I can't zoom in because if I do, I'll lose the
It got cool and now it's back up to
the radar from Fort Campbell as good as I can do. But you see this little area, that's our tracker. That area was our debris tracker, Dresden. We saw that debris kind of fade away as it moved farther in eastern sections of Weaver County. We don't quite have that same, notice right there, there's that kind of green and white where it did pick up some debris coming out of Dresden, and that has faded away a little bit, but that's just kind of, again, that's the debris tracker. The rotation is still extremely strong here And this is coming into, passing basically over and just south of Cottage Grove, and is going to be moving very close to Puryear, Tennessee. And bear with us, we keep having the radar drop out because we have to depend on.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system 270.
Is down. And does appear on a that is going to take it very, very close to Puryear, Tennessee. So if you guys are in Puryear or just south of town on 641, you've got to get to your safe place of shelter right now. We're not out of the woods yet. This is an area of Tennessee that has not had much thunderstorm activity yet. So the atmosphere is still very unstable and volatile. Tons of rotation and wind shear here. So if you guys are in that area, let's get that again. It's moving to the northeast, 55 miles per hour. And that is going to put it around Whitlock at 1129, Puryear 1132, New Concord 1146, Bumpus Mills at 1205. We have to assume that this will continue to produce rotation, possibly a tornado, did produce a tornado around Dresden, Tennessee, and reports of significant damage there. And this storm, very dangerous, headed toward and just south of the Puryear, Tennessee area. Again, the tornado warning that is in effect here is for an observed tornado with a considerable threat and also hail around quarter size. That tornado warning goes until 11:45, so another 20 minutes on that warning here in Weakley and Early County in Tennessee. We also have other storms that we're following. There is full effect. Until 11:45. That's a radar indicated area of rotation. And we have, as to a different radar on, there's a storm here northern Cape County. This one right now is a severe thunderstorm warning. A different radar on, there's a storm here northern Cape County. This one right now is quarter size. Yes. Yes.
So about a couple minutes ago, tornadic circulation was crossing into Henry County. Now it's passing very south of the Cottage Grove area. And then Lee and St. Francis the storm was showing a structure. That wind threat's going to continue to increase, and also the hail threat is increasing west of Cruz. And that line segment is from Osceola. That's moving west of the Dallas area. And then
storm that we've been following for quite some time. Just bear with us, boy. This has just been a night that we'll never forget for all the wrong reasons. We've had just a tremendous amount of damage in our area. And again, I know we've got a lot of folks that are trying to help each other out. And we're unfortunately not quite done with this just yet. And right now, our main storm in terms of severity is our tornado warning here in Henry County, Tennessee, as this storm has been showing signs of rotation. I do notice here that there's definitely still rotation. But notice how it's a little more ragged looking right now. Absolutely no way are we saying that there's an all clear just yet, but it's at least a trend that we hope will continue right across 641. If you live in Puryear or just south of there, in 641, and then over toward New Concord in Callaway County, now is the time to take shelter. If you have a basement, you need to head into an interior hallway or closet. As many walls between you and the as you can. We've also had from Marshall County, again, asking residents to stay off roads and highways. Emergency crews are trying to navigate their way around for rescue operations. In there so that there is widespread damage. Right now, no confirmed injuries or fatalities. Also, Mayfield, Kentucky. If you can safely get there, go to Fire 1, 211 East Broadway. There are buses there to help get you to somewhere safe for the night, as we have just had a tremendous damage around the Mayfield, a catastrophic tornado that has hit that area. We have crews that are headed to Mayfield as well as Marshall County, working on getting video. But we're having a hard time getting information here. We've got folks that their life has been changed over tonight. They're trying to pick up the pieces, so we're the last thing on their front is to get videos and photos into us. But it's been a very bad night for a lot of folks across our area, and we're not quite done yet. We still have a couple, at least 2 or 3 more hours to go until we can sound the all clear on these storms across the region. We still have numerous storms around, and it will be late into the night. We were able to get the cold front through and sound the all clear. New tornado warning just coming out for Stewart County in Tennessee, and that's for the storm here that's between Puryear and Paris. Let me get you that information. That tornado warning goes until 12:15 this morning. And it is for an observed tornado. This is the damaging tornado that's currently near Cottage Grove, or 8 miles northwest of Paris. It's moving east at 60 miles per hour. So we will put a track on this. And this intense storm is headed toward the Dover area at 11:58. Big Rock at 12:05. And Fort Campbell, perhaps, by 12:22. Let's go back to regular radar, and actually we'll put the area-wide, the composite radar back on, and show you kind of where we stand with things right now. So we have our tornado warning here in Henry County and for Stewart County. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for Dyer County. That runs until 12 a.m. till midnight, so about another 30 minutes. That's for 60 mile per hour winds, as well as quarter-size hail. Tornado warning in Webster County. That is moving out of the local 6 area. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Cape County, with a storm that is packing possibly some hail, quarter size. That's up around Jappleton areas there in Cape County. Put a track on that quickly here as it's moving off to the east-northeast at around 45 miles per hour. So if you're watching from Cobden, this storm may be impacting you at around 12:01. Murfreesboro at 11:39. In between West Frankfort and Goreville at around 12:08 and 12:22. Okay, bear with us. We actually just had I believe we just had a power bump here at the station, so some of our stuff is having a hard time right now. Do we have lightning around here right now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so bear with us. I believe we're still on air, so we'll keep going. So our severe thunderstorm warning here in Cape County. We'll go back to our Tennessee storm.
We knew that was certainly going to be a possibility out there this evening. Unfortunately,
and check out the.
very top of your screen.
There's still roads showing up here in between Permian and Paris. And there is still a debris signature. So very possible that we still have a tornado in progress just south of Puryear, Tennessee. This debris signature started around Dresden. It's kind of cycled up and down, and currently on 641, just about 3 miles south of Puryear is where we're currently detecting of the debris being tossed up into the atmosphere from this tornado. On that current path is going to go very close to Dover, perhaps near north, and likely stay just along or south of the Kentucky-Tennessee state line there in the corner of the Callaway County. So if you're going to do Concord and Dover, we need to be keeping a real close eye on the situation. But our tornado warning continues here for Henry County until 11:45. And this is for an observed tornado with a considerable threat for this area. We also have a whole slew of severe thunderstorm warnings that just came out. Starting to see a bow echo forming here in southern Illinois. And we have severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect. That includes, put the right over this handle on this, from Franklin County, actually Jefferson County up around Mount Vernon, through Franklin County, Benton, West Frankfort, Williamson County, which includes Marion and Carterville, Jackson County, Carbondale and Marion, and those of you in Perry County around Pinckneyville and DuQuoin. Severe thunderstorm warning here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and possibly an area or two of quarter-size hail. And this storm is moving at, goodness, 80 miles per hour.
Wow.
So, let's look at that. Let's double check that. That really is going fast. So, when you get an 80-mile-per-hour forward speed on this storm, you're going to have a considerable wind damage threat. So those of you along Highway 51 and I-57 in southern Illinois, this one is racing along. Let me put a track on this. Goodness, I wonder if that's right. 80 miles per hour seems what if they meant 60? Well, we're going to track it at 8. DuQuoin at 1140, Carbondale at 1147, West Frankfort at 1155, McLeansburg, Galatia at 1211, Harrisburg at 1219, and New Haven at 1232. Let me take a measurement on this. I don't know if 80 is... I'm thinking we're probably closer to 60 miles per hour on that. But at any rate, this thing is going to have a damaging wind threat from DuQuoin to Carbondale, from Benton, West Frankfort, and Marion in southern Illinois. So again, that tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 12:15 on Saturday. And this is a new tornado warning. That is out of our area. That is a tornado warning for folks up around Henderson, south of there. So it's not our area. Webster County, this is a tornado and in effect for a while till 11:45. This storm around Dixon, radar indicated rotation here. That's moving out of our area here in just a few moments.
Hey Trent, real fast, we're getting multiple reports of power outages in Murray, but one person, there is a few people stuck in an elevator at Murray State right now.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot of lightning on this storm that carries the tornado warning. And again, there is still a signature of debris right here. So this storm, it looks like it passed very close to Puryear, just to the southeast of town. And we lost the data there. So we'll put this into motion. Based on where it is headed, again, we're talking about right up along the Callaway and Henry County line. So let's switch it back over to the velocity. There is still some significant circulation that is off here. It's now about 6-7 miles southeast of Puryear. And it is moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So that's going to put it up around Dover by midnight. So you got about 20 minutes. And Big Rock at around 12. This got a, this is from the Kentucky State Police now. Post 1, which of course is just north of Mayfield. They say, quote, Post 1 is currently responding to a severe tornado event that spreads across multiple counties in western Kentucky. There is significant damage reported. While no fatalities have been confirmed at this time, loss of life is expected. Multiple agencies from across the purchase area are responding, and updates will follow. So I know we've had some folks that probably are having a hard time communicating with Kentucky State Police. They were near the path of this storm, and I'm sure are covered up with reports. But again, they say that significant damage has been across multiple counties. No fatalities have been confirmed right now, but they say, quote, loss of life is expected. So not wanted to hear, but you know, given the situation that we're dealing with right now, we're just scratching the surface as all the damage reports, and you know, we're very much still in rescue mode with this situation across the area tonight. All right, so let's see. You have is that on source 2? You have that picture right there. Okay. We'll stay on. We'll stay on just for a second while Noah's working on some pictures. And our rotation is tightening up now here around the Puryear area. So this is now re-strengthening, and this new update from the Weather Service in Memphis. Observed tornado with a considerable threat, and we have had reports damage and debris being reported in Henry County. So if you live east of Puryear, let's go down for some street level views. Pretty rural area. But east of toward just Freeland, south of New Concord, this storm is going to pass to the south of New Concord. It's going to go over on 49 just near or northwest of Dover and continue on across northern sections of Henry County. This is a considerable tornado threat that we need to take very seriously here. And we also have our severe thunderstorm warning for a considerable wind threat from DuQuoin to Elkville, Murfreesboro. That's moving toward Benton, West Frankfort, and Marion. And this is moving east at about 60 miles per hour. So we will track that toward Carbondale at 11:49, Benton 11:58, West Frankfort at midnight, McLeansboro at 12:18, Harrisburg at 12:28. You want to give me a breather and go through some of the photos that you got?
We got it. This was taken from on source 2 from Lake Lakes. I'm going to read to you this report. This one, I'm hearing my microphone here, mic check. Hear me now? Hear me now? So we're getting in more photos than we can go through in a short amount of time. This is from Tina Marie, guys. Look at this. House is on Lake Barkley. From Boyd's Landing, this pic. She sent me a screenshot. This was actually taken, I believe, I think it was from a Nest camera or something. It kind of looked like that to me. The pic is looking towards LBL. The canal you see is to the right. Her husband, Wes, got the photo in the tornado as the tornado was moving to more. So how about that for a nighttime capture? And the flash certainly seems to have been from a power flash. That was the tornado that crossed over the Lakes region earlier. Jack Kane is in Graves County right now. Hopefully we can hear from him soon. He is sending back photos. This is one of the photos he has sent back of significant damage to the Graves courthouse. Excuse me. Also, the police station in Graves has significant damage. It looks like all of the windows and the entire front of the Graves is essentially blown in. The top of the building and the roof seems to have been blown off as well. That's the Graves police station. What you're looking at is in front of the Graves courthouse. This is also from Mayfield. This is by the jail and the courthouse just from the street view. And a couple of other reports from there. Let me read these I got here. Power out all over the place. We've got trees down. Graves County photos continue to come in of power loss. And as Trent said to you earlier, we'll have him repeat that when he comes back on. I believe Mayfield is displaced tornado victims at Mayfield High. So I don't know if we've reported that yet, or we're just getting that out now for the first time. Mayfield is opening a shelter. If you're listening in Graves to Mayfield, Mayfield is opening a shelter for displaced tornado victims at Mayfield High School. That we just got out a few minutes ago. This was arguably so far of the hundreds and thousands of photos sent, at least one of the few I've seen so far of actual tornado on ground. That was looking towards the canals on your right. Might be hard to see, and it's actually remarkable you got this photo because the only light that's in is from a power flash, which it looks like on the right, or a lightning bolt, but that certainly seems to be more of a power flash earlier.
Real quick, National Weather Service just came out. They said since their systems are down, a lot of people have not been getting the warnings on the National Weather Service radios since those are down. So just a heads up, your weather radios from the Paducah area will not be working with our warnings here.
Well, that's really good to know. Power's out in Murray and phone's not quite working. Just got that. Just got that from actually a weather watcher at Murray. So the tornado that Trent's been tracking for you for a while now, that that now has a tornado warning in southeastern Callaway. You might hear your EAS in Callaway. Trent's going to track that out for you. There is no imminent threat in Murray right now, but this is going to clip southeastern Callaway and go through northern Stewart County. So if you're in Dover or along 49 in Stewart County, now is your time to seek shelter. But for everybody else watching, there's a lot. That is the one storm that is tornadic at the moment. We're not yet to the point of sounding the all clear, but in terms of tornado at the moment, for everybody else who is asking to make this crystal clear, can't sound the all clear yet, but there's nothing else that's super concerning at the moment, which is positive.
That's the first thing positive that we've been able to say for a while, I believe. Okay, so we've got track here. No, head of the wall, man. I'll drive radar, but I'm nothing left in the voice. It's gone for the night. So tracking this area of rotation is right along the Callaway and Henry and Stewart County line, headed off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. It's going to pass very close to Fair and Bumpus Mills. We're still seeing signs of at least somewhat of a debris signature with this, and very powerful rotation too. So if you live in Stewart County here, between Fairview and Bumpus Mills, the storm is headed your way in the next 10 minutes. In Christian County, 12:16 arrival time for you, and over toward Fort Campbell at 12:24. This storm has had produced damage near Dresden, near Cottage Grove, and near Puryear. I can tell you that the debris signature right now is not as impressive as it was a little bit ago. Hopefully we continue with that. But if you live in Fairview, Bumpus Mills, Lafayette, and Fort Campbell, we've got to be taking shelter right now.
I got Jack on the phone from Mayfield for a quick live. So
Yes.
Jack, you're live on the air. Go ahead, give us an update. Jack Kane, our reporter, is in Mayfield. What are you seeing, Jack? How are things there?
Yeah, so no, I'm in Town Square right now in Mayfield. We're right by the FNB Bank, which the front was basically blown out. It's almost indescribable how much damage we've seen in just the short time we've been here. I mean, just rubble everywhere. The courthouse here, one of the giant trees out front is toppled over. The courthouse is all torn up. Mayfield City Hall, all the glass is busted out of the front. The police station offices are just destroyed. I mean, this is, I was a reporter down in Alabama for a while. I saw on EF4, the damage of EF4 down there. This is on par, if not worse than the damage I saw down pure
Are there the streets walking around? Is there scenes of people hurt or anything with that?
We've people trying to walk around. There are power down everywhere right now. We're using our light just so we can light where we can walk, just so we're not stepping over power lines and everything. First responders are out in droves right now, just trying to move power lines, clean up debris, help people. Roads are basically blocked off. Absolute mayhem here at the moment. I believe at the fire department, they're trying to get people over here just to make sure everyone's safe. It's kind of as a centralized location. If you are out and around right now, you really need to make sure that you have a light, because no street lights are on. There are maybe a handful of places that still have power. It's also still pouring out here right now, the lightning overhead. Still seeing very bad conditions right now.
Jack, are you, maybe we'll share this with you so you can forward this to people that are there, that there's a tornado shelter at the high school for displaced victims there.
At Mayfield or Grace County High School?
Mayfield High School.
Mayfield High School, okay. If I pass people, I'll let them know. That's a little bit away from us, but we drove in here on the way. I mean, just the damage we've seen to homes, you know, it is, this is someone, it takes a breath away. That's it.
Hey, excuse me, Jack, it's Trent. Do you know of any reports of injuries or folks that have injuries or fatalities or anything?
I've heard some reports of people at the candle factory here in Mayfield trapped. To be quite honest with you, I don't know the extent of injury. A lot of it is just what I've heard and talking to people and talking that they've heard this, you know, they've heard that people are trapped somewhere. It's kind of just all over. With cell phone reception being so spotty, I've tried to call the station several times. I'm amazed this phone call isn't working, but no, to answer your question, I don't have any numbers on any injuries or any possible fatalities.
Have you spoken to anyone with the officials there, with police, state police, rescue? Is there anything asking of people?
I've briefly spoken to someone that's out here. They're just trying to get everything under control. I know they were trying to move some of the inmates out of the courthouse, that's the jail that is. Otherwise, apart from that, it's more just them letting us know there's down power lines everywhere, and if we're going to be walking around, keep it safe. Otherwise, we've had pretty minimal communication with them. We're just trying to stay out of the way to let them do their jobs right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, stay safe down there, and thanks for checking in with us, all right?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for keeping everyone updated. Stay safe.
You bet.
Well, in a night full of negatives, I think we'll try to find a positive out of that, at least as of now. There's nobody that's injured there that we know of. Let's hope it stays that way.
Still not out of the woods just yet. Still looking at a tornado warning here for Stewart County. And unfortunately, this rotation is tightening up again. It is quite strong, in fact, right over Highway 49 in Tennessee. This is going to go north of Dover, but not by much. So if you live in Stewart County, north of Dover, this is a pretty rural area out here, but near Bumpus Mills, over toward Watts Chapel. And goodness, I mean, this thing right now, if it continues on this track, it's going to be awfully close to Fort Campbell. Goodness. All right. So, let's put a track on this and kind of get you the timing. If you happen to be watching from Fort Campbell, this thing's barreling down on you. The forward speed, according to the printout, let's see. I believe we're looking at about 55 miles per hour. So, we don't have much time in Fort Campbell. 5 miles per hour, that's going to be at around 1222. So about funds pop impacting Fort Campbell on the base. It to either weaken or it's going to have to change directions. If it doesn't, we've got about 20-25 minutes. So if you are on base at Fort Campbell, this is your warning. It's a place of shelter. This storm has done. In fact, let's check out the debris track, and unfortunately we've got debris showing up again. Well, the Highway 49 symbol covered it up. There it is. Noah, are you over at the wall? Okay. Normally, on the camera, the problem is because in Paducah, we have to manually switch back and forth between the sites, and it's just easier to stay over here at our station. But there's the debris. It's about 6 miles northwest of Dover, and it's this thing's not headed in a good direction if you live on Fort Campbell.
We've got Kaylee Anderson in Moore's Camp, or at Moore's Camp, along Moore's Camp Highway.
Okay.
We're gonna try to get Jack live just momentarily, so we're gonna get some footage and video, hopefully from Jack Kane. We're gonna try, pending technical workings, we're gonna try to get some video out of Mayfield. A couple of things, Trent, thing that we have a graphic for. If you're gonna venture out, wear good shoes. This is why we told you earlier to have with your severe kit and to be where they are in your home, a helmet and shoes. With all the broken glass, even if you were in an area that was not directly hit by this, there's so much glass and debris everywhere that if you're walking around, you need to make sure that you put on a good pair of shoes. It's dark, there's debris, there's glass, and earlier we actually had debris fallout. We had the rotation from that 3-state tornado that was seemingly a tornado emergency for was so violent that debris was up almost to 30,000 feet. There was debris, we got so long, we so covered the tornado. There's been debris that's fallen on the ground outside of where that tornado was. So please be very mindful of that. Sylvan Marshall, Central Graves, Fulton, Hickman counties, that there is debris all over the place and you might not see it. So if you're going to go out walking and try to get something done, be mindful you don't step on something and hurt yourself. And the way that Trent has drawn this, 1225, Trenton would be about 1238. This is a defined circulation right there. And something that is, very relevant to this is that this is in an area that has not been worked over yet. There still is ample wind shear out there, but there's nothing ahead of this. So the flow coming into this supercell in this line cluster is unabated. This circulation will probably continue as it comes to northern Stewart County and will eventually cross Kentucky state line again, but in Fort Campbell. Might not cover this officially as our team, but we do have a lot of people that have seen this, and we all know this historically. A lot of people who are following this maybe right now in Fort Campbell, in the Fort Campbell area, who are watching us live on Facebook. This is heading for you in Fort Campbell at about 25 minutes from now. You don't want to wait until 1224 to get to your tornado precaution shelter. This has a long history of producing damage, and that is right before Campbell. So for everybody else, Paducah, Southern Illinois, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, which that does go through 13 more minutes, and that is for the moving northeast at 80 miles an hour, this squall line. The Carbondale ASOS, this was about 12 minutes ago. The Carbondale wind sensor reported a wind gust of 63 miles an hour. Also some reports of penny-sized hail. So the McLeansboro, Harrisburg area, as Trent's drawing a track on this. You're up under the gun for this, but as we expected and talked about earlier today, yesterday, and the days leading up to this, round number 1 was the primary tornado threat. Round number 2 is primarily a straight line damaging wind threat, which is exactly what was forecast and what we're seeing. So some good in a night full of negative, something positive. Yes, this is still a severe thunderstorm, of course, but in terms of relativity to what we just went through, this is nothing like that. This is some strong straight line winds. West Frankfort, Harrisburg, 1230, 1220, Carmi, 1241, New Haven, 1248, and this will eventually come into far southern Indiana once you get closer to 1 o'clock in the morning. But the good news there is I'm looking behind the scenes, and actually this is the Evansville radar. Yeah, there is a little notch in here that I suppose, still could spin up a tornado, but if there was going to be a tornado on a line like this, it would be an EF0 or an EF1, like we saw earlier this week in the first episode of severe weather on Sunday, because it's harder to get those big tornadoes in this line. So right now this is this wind threat, no concern. We're keeping an eye on that.
Mayfield and
In
Graves
terms of
County
what's out there
friends,
beyond
this
this,
is the Graves County
out in
courthouse.
Springfield, the radar is finally quiet.
Took a
Outside
direct
St.
hit
Louis, the radar is
from
finally
a
quiet. There is actually a tornado
Or possibly
that went through
tornado.
near Memphis,
City of
Tennessee.
Mayfield Police Station.
In terms of our Tennessee counties,
Damaged.
some lightning and thunder continuing from Greenfield to
FNB
Dresden,
Bank
some lightning and thunder from Yorkville to
major
Kenton.
devastation in many communities
We're hearing
in
reports of
western
damage from
Kentucky,
Kenton. I'm going to
northwest
see if I can pull this
Tennessee.
up. Still hearing about the candle factory in Mayfield, about entrapment. That was a big thing. Going to extend our, again, if you're watching this there, fear threat has passed. There is rain, some lightning and thunder going to continue there for the next hour or so. The weather's done. This is a new tornado warning that could on that considerable. If you're in Christian, far southern parts of Christian and Trigg counties, this goes till 12:45. This here has a very long history of being cycling on and off. Tornado debris signature not. And this, this is going to head right for Fort Campbell.
Yeah, this is a PD confirmed large dangerous tornado around Big Rock, and yeah, Fort Campbell is directly in the path of this at 12:20. So again, this is a particularly situated tornado warning. So Fort Campbell got to take shelter right now.
I'm going to take an assumption that the base there is well aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
The base that we have at Fort Campbell, but this is going to head right for that Fort Campbell radar, which if we lost that, we're predicament here with the radar situation, but we'll not worry about that for right now. Lots of lightning in Cadiz. There are actually strong burst of wind near Cadiz, near 60, probably 45 or 50 miles an hour, but certainly Lafayette, right along the Kentucky-Tennessee line, this blue is wind pushing 100 miles an hour. You combine that with the wind in the red, so this is wind blowing very strong from the southwest to the northeast, and the red is the wind blowing away from the radar, which is that spinning thing you're seeing. That's the spinning radar in Fort Campbell. Red is away. Right on the leading edge of that tornado. Unlike the tornadoes before, this is a very key differentiator. If you're watching us from Lafayette to Fort Campbell, the Mayfield tornado, it was raining, and there were minutes and minutes and minutes of rain, some hail and light, and then the tornado. This, which is confirmed, the dropout in the correlation coefficient. We talked about this all night, where objects in the atmosphere are dissimilar, non-meteorological. That is debris, that is houses, that is trees, that is stuff that has been created and wafted into the sky from a tornado. That is your tornado. That is going to track from Lafayette and eventually towards Fort Campbell and will pass over Interstate 24. This still very serious and indicates a tornado. Is this as big as the one earlier was? No. But this is very dangerous situation. Dover, you're in the parts of Katy. There's some strong wind, but you're in the clear. Dawson Springs to thunder, but nothing concerning there at the moment. Can't stress this enough. That is a strong circulation here. What do you got?
So yeah, no, this just came into the newsroom. We have a update from the governor, Andy Bashir. He's going to be doing a conference call at 4 a.m. Central Time, so 5 a.m. Eastern Time. He has declared a state of emergency based on the major damage in multiple western Kentucky counties, and has activated the Kentucky National Guard and also the Kentucky State Police. That's at 4 o'clock this morning.
We'll be looking forward to hearing from him. So, and this is not the only tornado in the state of Kentucky. This might be the strongest, but it's certainly not the worst. And mind Trent, pop on that track real quick so I can move this. The tracker. This is certainly one that Trent's got it. So this is moving to the northeast with about 50 miles an hour. Trenton, Fort Campbell, Elkton, Russellville. This is going to head towards Russellville. So this is going to parallel and head up towards, eventually it's going to meet 165 and I-65. But the imminent concern here is the populace that lives in and around Fort Campbell, Kentucky. You need to be prepared to get to your tornado shelter by 12:25. So you've got about 10 to 15 minutes there, but that is a significant signature. Still seeing strong rotation, and again, you might not really have a big warning. It's not like, this is not like the Mayfield tornado where it was raining and there was a buildup to it. I mean, there's much rain out ahead of this. So it's going to go from dry, no precip, to tornado. Some strong winds, but by and large, this is still our most concerning storm on the radar. And to reiterate, for those of you who might have missed it, let's see, pull this up. Mayfield has a shelter for displaced tornado victims at Mayfield High. There's been rumors and reports that there's been cell service that's been impacted, so keep that in mind if you're trying to get in touch. We know that there's been significant damage in Mayfield. We know that there's significant damage near Moores at Central. We know that there's significant damage in Hickman County. In Casey, Kentucky, this tornado spanned 3 states. There's glass everywhere. If you're, make sure you put a good pair of shoes on to protect your feet, because there's glass in places that you won't even see it. There's debris all over the place from that tornado, especially in the Mayfield area, but really heading into southern Marshall County. And if you just joined us and clicked on, want to reiterate the message that Kaylee Bowers just read if you missed it. Andy Bashir is going to have a press conference at 4 in the